Hey folks, we're at Mounds State Park, and today we will see several ancient Indian mounds.
Hey folks, Sloanes Wilderness Expeditions here. We're just doing a nice little Sunday hike here in Indiana. We're at Mounds State Park, and it is probably one of Indiana's smallest state parks. We are on Trail 5 today. It's 2.5 miles long, and that is by far the longest trail they have here. They have several trails, but almost all of them are a mile or less, except for this one that completely circles the park. But the main attraction here isn't the trails, it is the mounds. They have several mounds, I can't remember how many, that the Hopewell and Adena Indians built. Some between 1,000 and 1,500 years ago, I think. Anyway, we will check those out probably towards the end of our hike. The trails here at Mounds State Park are pretty flat for the most part and almost more like a forest gravel road. They would be perfect if you lived in the area for trail running. They're not all that fascinating for Catfish and I, because we're a little more used to rugged trails, but any day out in nature is a good day, right?
Yeah.
You get down into these little spots like this, and it's really pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we think we have here one of those giant puffball fungi. Look at the size of this thing.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's my hand right there. It feels weird. Wanna check it out, buddy? Pretty neat though, huh?
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of those in a long time. We're on the west side of the park now, here on Trail 5. And the nice thing about the west side is it should offer us some pretty decent views here and there of the White River. So just off trail here, off of Trail 5, we've got this little side trail here. And it will lead us to the first Indian mound we have to show you here on this video. This is just called the Circle Mound. And you can see where it's raised here on the outer edge, with almost like a moat type section here in the middle, up to another mound in the center. So from this vantage point you get a little better idea how it's been dug out all around the edges. So, Catfish, do you have any kind of theories and what the Adena and Hopewell Indians were doing when they built these mounds?
Probably making these like places to worship or whatever they did in those ceremonies.
I definitely think it was ceremonial, at least to some extent.
Yeah.
And I believe some of the mounds here are also aligned with the stars, such as with the solstices.
Yeah.
They are aligned with those, so the ancient peoples were way smarter about that kind of stuff. Probably more advanced than what our quote-unquote advanced cultures were.
Look, Dad, checking up the woods.
It sure is. Off trailing with the Sloanes. Danger, danger. Okay, it's not an official trail, but there's obviously a trail here, so. And we wanted to see the river.
Yep.
It's a little muddy down here, buddy.
Yep, mud buddies.
It's a pretty nice view.
Yeah.
There's one good thing about Indiana. We do have some pretty streams. Makes for some good canoeing and kayaking, which we need to do more of. Well, I think that just about does it for Trail 5 here at Mounds. This is about as scenic as it gets for this part of the state. But that means it's time to go explore the big mounds, see what the mound builders left for us to discover.
Yep.
Alright, we are on Trail 1 right now, and Trail 1 completely circles all of the main mounds here. So we're looking for an earthworks first. So here in front of me is what they call Earthwork D. It's a circular enclosure, and it is difficult to make out now. It's been filled in. At one time, it was about 2.5 feet deeper than what it is now. So you can get an idea just from where it's been mowed. Sometimes video and photography doesn't really make out depth very well, so it can be a little bit difficult to make out on video. And maybe if we find the right angle. But that's why they just call it an earthwork. It's not one of the big main ones. And something about this particular earthwork is it aligns with the center of the Great Mound during the winter solstice. And we'll be seeing the Great Mound here in just a few minutes. Alright, so here in front of me is the Fiddleback Mound. It's a little more noticeable than what the earthworks were. But it's called Fiddleback Mound because it is kind of in a figure-8 shape, or like the back of a fiddle. And what makes that unique is there are only 5 to have ever been found to exist in this fiddleback or figure-8 formation. This one here that Catfish and I are walking on right now is the last one that is still intact. So that makes it kind of unique, the last mound of this shape. So as Catfish and I here walking on the Fiddleback Mound, when you turn around, that hill there, that is the Great Mound. So we're now entering the Great Mound. The center mound here was excavated back in the late 60s, and they actually found a couple of burials along with a lot of Hopewell artifacts that dated back to AD 50, which tells you that the mounds here are at least 2,000 years old.
Yeah.
Well, Catfish, do you have any other theories on how these mounds were created?
Maybe it was aliens.
So obviously we have the Great Mound off to my left right there, and this just slight depression you see directly in front of me here is the final earthwork. on exhibit. And I say this originally was close to 4 feet deep, and now it's just barely noticeable. But it also aligned with the Great Mound and to the rise of the star, what was it called?
I forget.
Fomalhaut or something. I am not sure how to even pronounce it, but so there you go. The Mounds at Mounds State Park. Nice Sunday afternoon hike, right buddy?
Yeah.
Right. Anytime out hiking with my son here is a good day. So, till our next adventure,
Peace out.